The next thing we're going to discuss are attributes. So attributes can be found on the Home tab under the group called Attributes. So this includes anything relating to your geometry, such as line thickness, or color, or line style, or material display. So as an example, from the wireframe geometry that we actually have on our screen here, they're all blue. And that's because under Attributes, our wireframe geometry is set to a blue color. All of our solid geometry is set to gray, and our surface geometry is set to green. That's not for anything that's on our screen currently, but for anything that we are going to create. So as an example, if I change my wireframe color to red, and I change my wireframe thickness to very thick, and let's even change our wireframe line style to dotted. Now whenever I create wireframe geometry, it will follow the color and style that I chose in my attributes. So that's for new geometry. And of course, anytime I create geometry now, in this case wireframe geometry, it's going to follow that pattern. It's going to follow red, dotted, and thick. But what about existing geometry? Existing geometry can get changed the same way that you would move geometry to different levels. Remember, you right-click. So if I want to select this arc and then change it, I select the arc, then I simply right-click, and here's where I can change the style, the thickness, and the color. Another way to look at that is to use something like Microsoft Word. So in Microsoft Word, if you start typing, it has a specific font and a specific color and specific font size. In this case, it's font 11. If I wanted to change this, I highlight it, just like you would highlight geometry in Mastercam, and then I can change it. Well, whatever these are set to before I type something, these are the values that will be used. So let's change this to Arial, black, font 26, and red. And anything I type now will follow those. So the workflow is exactly the same. In Mastercam, whatever you create now will follow these options. And for whatever you have previously created and want to change, you simply select them and then you can change them in the menu or using the right-click menu. Another thing to explore is material. So up here we can set our material. I can change this to metal and a specific reflectivity. I can also change it to a plastic or a glass. Now it's only doing that for material that I will be creating. However, if I want to apply it to existing material, I have to simply select that material, and then I can go up here and change it. Let's say to plastic level 7. Now, that's plastic level 7. Again, if I wanted to change this to something drastic, let's say metal level 7, now you'll see that material is applied to that solid. So up here in our attributes, we can choose point style, line thickness, whether you're drawing in 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions, and then colors for your lines, solids, surfaces, your material. You can also use this to clear colors. As you see while we go through this course, if you move geometry or do something to geometry, that geometry will temporarily change color. This allows you to clear that temporary color, also known as the result color. We also have options to set from entity and to set all. These allow you to pick entities on the screen that might have the current attributes that you want. Using attributes is a really good way to define your part properly and to communicate to others. For example, if you're sending a file to someone, you might want to refer to all red geometry as being problematic, or all of your blue surfaces as surfaces you want to machine. Colors can also be used a lot for toolpaths. As you'll notice in our next section with quick masks, you can select geometry based on color or based on style. So we'll explore that in our next lesson, but for now, feel free to utilize the attributes in Mastercam to better define your overall part and your toolpaths.